Welcome in, everybody. It is Thursday night. It is Inside the Huddle. That is Myers in the Mouse. Randy and David's here. Escapades of PJJ. I got Justin in the house. And the beautiful Tina Marie is back because there's a lot of great tight ends in this weekend's game. We're going to talk about all that and more this week on the channel. I'm excited. It is playoff week, everybody, and that's one good thing. And one good thing only, that means we're going to talk about teams going for the Super Bowl candidates. Kelly, how's things with you in the house of Myers and the Mouse?
We are doing very well. The Chiefs Kingdom is doing very well, taking a nice relaxing weekend.
Yes.
Very well deserved.
I was very congratulatory for that. That was awesome. I saw what they did what they had to do. They beat up 3 people in the parking lot down there in the Kingdom and made it in. Hey, look, do what you got to do, right? It doesn't matter. You got the week off.
Hey, we have said if we're going to play in a neutral location, we'll do it in the parking lot. So whatever.
Yeah, said it. Absolutely. And the great thing is your team kind of needed a little bit of rest to get a little bit healthy on the line. Had a couple line injuries that were kind of nagging. This is a good week for your team. So, yeah, good for you guys. Congratulations. David, Steelers finished better than you thought. I told you they would finish higher than that. Pickett's
then 3-14. So, basically, they screwed their draft order by, playing subpar football and somehow still winning games. Kenny Pickett is still not the answer. They're going to miss out on a massive quarterback crop. We'll talk about that after the season.
Yes.
The fact that they had a shot to get into the playoffs was an affront to Steelers Nation. They shouldn't have had it. It was really bad.
I'd like to point out that his hands are still bigger than mine.
That's fair.
Yeah. So,
it's a fair statement.
Justin, your Chargers are playing this weekend. They got a big game. We're going to talk about that this week.
Yeah, we ended up doing some math, and I know Kelly already got his ticket for the parade in Kansas City when they win the Super Bowl, but I think Chargers country is going to have to go through Kansas City first, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and I think everything is going to Kansas City one way or another. You're going to have to knock them out to make it be at your place for sure. And Tina, what team do you just bandwagon teams? Do you just jump on whatever team has the hottest player, or how are you doing it this year? Because Patriots are not in it,
I know Patriots are gone, but my Cowboys are still in it. My second favorite team, so they're the team I'm rooting for this time.
You just scared the heck out of me. Welcome into everybody. Jesse, Angela, Movie Mania, Nick, Sebastian the Crab, Joey D, one of our broadcasting partners, along with Gene Fitzmagic, are in the chat. Canton Bound, that's a good channel name. Marguerite Nagy, hello. Good to see everybody. We'll talk with you guys as we go through. So a reminder, the entire broadcasting team for the channel can be found on the front of my YouTube page. You can click on any of their channels, say hello to them, check out their content. I encourage you to do it. If you can't get over to the YouTube page, jump over to PeteMcDivittShow.com, click on the NFL section, and you'll be able to get that up. Coming up later tonight, Pete's Picks. Pete's Picks, my lock of the week, which, by the way, I'll discuss with the Deus here in just a second, is up to 78% right now, which is pretty good. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah. Jumped up last week with that big win at Pittsburgh, helping me get up there. All right, guys, let's talk about the totals, where we finished for the year. I think this is pretty good. We'll go around the team real quick and just talk about it. First, I should say that Tina joined us late in the year. It was not up here, but Tina cleaned clocks the week before last and was the highest pick we've had this year. She tied for it at 11 out of 16 games. So props to her. I look forward to Tina's name up on the board next year for the entire year. And we are going to track Tina for the playoffs. So next week, playoffs. I'm going to start off fresh next week, and we'll do that. So let's take a look at first. Sonudo, solid run. You picked all the games that we tracked. 255 was our top number because we missed 1 week that we weren't tracking. So 255 was the top number. Came in at 53%. Great job. Tied, really, right there. Tied for third with Sean Urban. Great job this year, Justin. You there?
Well, I appreciate it. To be honest with you, let's look at the whole thing. Everybody has done an awesome job. And, I just think that if you took everybody here and you put us on TV, everybody would be watching us because we're the best.
Well, to have everybody but one right at 50%, because I give Joey right there at 50%. He was just a hair off. He was 49 point something. So that was pretty awesome. And props to Sean Urban and to Carney. Those two were the top of last week. Sean hit 13 out of 16 last week. That was the actual overall best of the year. Second best of the year was Carney with 12, which another week Sonudo had a 12. And then there was multiple weeks with a bunch of us with 11. So those were some of the top numbers. So props to Sean, props to Carney there. David, 50%. You and Kelly, middle of the pack, but still solid. And hopefully next year as we go through, we'll get you in on all the games.
Yeah, of course. It was hectic the last couple of weeks. I apologize. So.
Not a problem. And Kelly came out of the
I also wanted to preserve my 50%. So
you did. You held it. And, Kelly still stayed on top. Kelly came out of the basement. Kelly, when we started, had a rough start. He was in the upper 30s and brought that thing right back on up. And that's pretty impressive to do because once you start playing a bunch of games, it takes a ton of wins to move your number. Kelly, nice job.
Thank you. Been pretty good. I missed a couple of weeks, but that's all right.
I fell out at the end. I was looking back at week 14. I was close to 65%. I dropped 6 percentage points. I did not have a good finish, honestly, to finish out the year. I could have done a lot better, but hey, it is what it is. End of the day, I'm pretty happy with it. We'll start fresh next week with our how we do on this weekend, so everybody can see how everybody on the dais is doing all the way through. One thing I did do was Ken. I want to thank Ken for being on here. Ken, the content creator. He has been MIA the last 3 to 4 weeks, and honestly, when we're doing a show, I can't have that. So I thank Ken for being here, and I appreciate his support. And maybe I'll talk to him in the off season. We can figure out why, but definitely need that. We're going to talk about breaking news, guys. Breaking news. First, before that, I want to talk about the fact of that lock of the week. For me, I finished out at 78% on that lock of the week for the year, including the preseason where I was 100% in preseason. So that did help me. Wow. I did better in preseason than I did in the year, but I'm pretty happy with that on the lock of the week. So I'm going to try to continue that. And my goal is to go 6 for 6. 6 for 6. And if I do, I'm going to give everybody in here a orange lollipop. So I just want everybody to know. That's That's what's its
Orange.
So you
My favorite.
orange. Yes, I'm not giving you red. I'm not going to support Kelly. Yes, David.
Orange.
Is it going to be a Tootsie Pop? Like
It
an
was
orange
Preston. Are
Tootsie
we going to
Pop?
give away a Tootsie Pop on the show?
Hmm?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes. Just say yes.
Huh?
Okay. There we go. So
Can we
Dude.
also blow pops?
I'm not even going.
I'm fine with green apple blow pops.
Yeah, I'm not even. We got
Right?
we got breaking news before one of us breaks here. Let's talk about some of the stuff going on in the league. So we had an extended Ravens. I'm really happy with this. I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Ravens signed Roquan Smith to a 5-year, $100 million deal, $60 million guaranteed, $40 on incentives. And big thing to my defense. Let's start off. David, you're in our division. Your thoughts? Roquan, he's a pretty good player.
I hate when when Baltimore makes a good signing. So obviously this is terrible. So
I tell you what, I loved him with Chicago, with what he did, and I was very impressed when we got that. Sanudo, what do you think? Roquan.
The trade that you made is paying off dividends. He's now locked up. I think he only played like maybe 12 or 13 games, had well over 100 tackles. But here's my question is, where's the money for your quarterback now?
Look, I'll touch base on that. I got no problem with where I say that. One, I saw Lamar was not happy about this, with that. Okay, first thing. Second thing is, I said at the beginning of the year, if you guys remember, when we started this, that we wouldn't sign Lamar before the season started, that we'd end up having to franchise tag him, and that's come to fruition now with the way it's gone down. Lamar's not going to get paid. He got hurt in week whatever it was 5 weeks ago. I don't think he's as hurt as they're playing it out. I think it's partially that he doesn't want to play. So I still say this is what's going to happen, and I'm okay with this. I think he's going to be franchise tagged and traded to either the Raiders or Miami for a massive amount of picks, to which the Ravens will use in, as David noted, and we've been talking about, we're going to dig into heavy when the season's over with. It is a loaded quarterback draft this year. And I think the Ravens will be able to do a lot with that. I was never a huge Lamar fan because I hate doing this because his head's going to get bigger than the damn screen. But Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback that runs. Yeah, see, there we go. He's a quarterback. He's a quarterback that runs. Lamar is a runner that is also a quarterback, and it's a difference between the two. Patrick Mahomes would deserve bigger money, guaranteed. He's taken his team. He's led them there. Ravens have gotten to the playoffs and got knocked out every time. I'm not into it. I think long term, I don't want to give him what he wants, David. He wants $200 million guaranteed. I think
a lot of money.
We think we forfeit the longevity of our team by doing that. Kelly, your thoughts?
No, I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. I don't think that's okay. So if they had a quarterback that could outscore, would they need to beef up the defense? I mean that's kind of how I look at that a little bit. Now, yeah, they may be playing some other games and do some other things with him, but if they had a quarterback that's supposedly that good, he should be able to outscore the other team, even if the defense is having a bad day or is weak at the time.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's the difference between Lamar and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was willing to sacrifice, even though he had this huge contract, he's willing to sacrifice and move money around to make sure he has good players around him, where I think Lamar's more like, it's me. And it's like, you need to prove yourself now at this point. You can't say, look how good I am anymore and get that kind of money.
Butterflies
You're good, but
Mahomes is not worth much money. Here's what I'll say. I don't think any quarterback in the league is worth $200 million and sacrificing the longevity of your program like they did in Cleveland. But I do think quarterbacks are worth a dollar amount plus incentive. They offered Lamar $150 guaranteed plus incentives up to $250, and he said that's not enough. To me, that's somebody that you're looking down a bad path. Tina, a lot of money up there. I know you guys got a quarterback that you're happy with in New England, but do you see any quarterback that's worth $200 million?
Gosh, I don't know if any quarterback is worth that. That's a lot of money. And I don't, for those that don't know that are in this chat, I don't know a whole lot about football. It's because of these guys right here that I have the knowledge that I have. And, you know, even without football knowledge, I'm looking at that number and I'm going, what the what? Like, no,
A
I
lot of
just
money.
can't. I don't know.
Well,
Can I just piggyback on one thing, Pete?
Sure, absolutely.
We'll go into this when we start picking our games. But you got to have an elite or stud quarterback to make it to the playoffs. That's just what it is.
Yes.
Is Lamar that? I don't know, but if you're going to spend $200 million, it's the position you're going to spend it on is quarterback, because if you got an elite quarterback, you're probably in the playoffs.
Well, I hate to say it, but again, giving Kelly credit for what his team did, the fact that he was willing to get his money but manipulate it so that it's to benefit the team, that's the way to do it, not give me my $200 million and be mad. Yeah, Dustin, Ravens are going to trade him. And I said that from the get-go, and we'll see how that works, as it goes through. Let's talk about this. Texans let go of Lovie Smith. Texans really haven't done much this year as they've gone through. Snudo, why don't you take a little bit on the Texans and letting go Lovie?
If they were smart, they would have let him go at halftime of the last game. Then they wouldn't have won, and they'd have the first pick. But
I'm going to click something for a second. It's going to be an automatic lag for a sec.
Yeah.
There we go. I refreshed to help. People said it was lagging a little bit, so I did an automatic refresh. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Justin. Say that again if you wouldn't mind.
All right. Sure. So I think they should have let him go at halftime of the last game, because then they wouldn't have won it, and they still have the first pick. So
right.
With that being said, you're cutting you're getting rid of your coach, first year coach again for the second time in the year. What good coach wants to go to the Texans now, knowing that they could be fired after 1 year into rebuilding? I think they're shooting themselves in the foot.
I do too. David, anything to Texas? Who do you think would be a good coach down there in Texas, Dave?
Can we send Tomlin?
You're still not. Good Lord, Dave.
But don't worry. He salvaged his season, so he doesn't have a losing season, but he's only won one Super Bowl with Bill Cowher's team. Anyway, no, I'm okay with Tomlin. I don't know, but this sets, like Justin said, I'll just piggyback on it. It sets an absolutely terrible precedent as an organization that they're not going to let you build a franchise. You might need players to build a franchise around, but you sure as hell need a coach to build a franchise around. And you got to give them more than a year to do that with broken pieces and parts that you have. Like, I don't understand this mentality now, and it was bad in the NFL, and now it's getting even worse in college football. Where if you, college football, you have 3 years, and if you don't do anything in 3 years, you're done. In the NFL now, look at this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. This isn't. It's just an extension of the business world looking at stuff from quarter to quarter. You can't do that. You can't do that for long-term viability as a franchise. Just don't care. This is like the Pirates. This is Bob Nutting. This is 100% Bob Nutting BS.
Well, to Dustin's point, they're talking about everywhere. Sean Payton and Harbaugh leaving Michigan to come into the NFL as two of the top teams.
Did you see Harbaugh's, hey, I'm staying at Michigan, maybe?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the most. I've put a lot of words together to say nothing. He beats me. He put more words together and said nothing than I ever have, and I'm pretty impressed. To be honest, I don't think Harbaugh leaves Michigan.
And and why aren't those names linked to the Texans? Because nobody wants to coach that franchise. That's why.
Yep. Tina, do you follow the coaches much? The movement of coaches in the NFL at all, or?
No, but I'm going to now.
Okay. And again, we love the fact that Tina's digging in to learn a lot more. She's getting in a lot more depth to be a part of what we're doing over here. So we applaud that. We wish more ladies would get involved with this, because the more, the merrier, as we say. Kelly, you also talking out there on the West Coast, they're also talking about potentially from the Rams. You might have a step down. He may go into broadcasting, so that could open up something for Sean Payton as well. Along with this one, Arizona opened up. Cliff Kingsbury gone. Your thoughts, Gary Kel?
Honestly, I don't have. I'll be honest with you on the Cardinals. Have not been paying attention to the Cardinals this year. Personally, I apologize, but I don't have a whole lot to say on it.
Yeah, I think that they just said, hey, we looked at it as they had the talent to do it, to do something out there, and then they just fell on their faces completely. Angela says, I'm trying. I've just even been a big football fan. We're just beginning, I guess is what you're saying. So there. Jesse says Tina doesn't follow the coaches because they do. Many of them do. Probably. I think the Texans will hire another offensive coordinator somewhere as they are needing help. Yeah, Raleigh. I mean, they're needing help on a lot of things.
Oh, can we send Matt Canada?
Can we send all of Canada? Probably down there.
I mean, I'd be okay with that too. But please.
Those are the two main coach movements, and we'll highlight those. Dig into a lot more of this in the offseason. Yeah, Justin.
Pete, I don't remember Cliff Kingsbury giving Murray an extension. I don't remember Cliff Kingsbury trading their first round draft pick for Hollywood Brown. I don't think the coaching staff has to take the entire axe on this. I think the GMs and even the owner should be looking in the mirror and say, hey, we made some dumb moves this year that have not paid out. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if Murray's going to be their quarterback next year.
You think they'll draft somebody?
I think they're draft somebody. They may even cut him. Maybe they trade him. Maybe Miami's a place to go. Who knows?
Interesting.
Murray has a huge a huge future as a Call of Duty Twitch streamer.
Yes, he's very focused.
He could probably make as much money doing that. So.
He's very focused on that. Guys, let's throw some things in here. I know Tina won't be as much into this because it's I threw it at her at the last second. Which, by the way, props to Tina because Jeff had a challenge and at the last minute had to cancel tonight right before showtime, and Tina just grabbed it and jumped on in. So props to Tina for helping us out tonight, and we'll see Jeff on another show. So let's. I'm gonna go down this list real quick, and I know it's some players that have played for you, played against your teams. You got some big names in here, but these are the 2023 Hall of Fame finalists: Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Rondé Barber, Don Coryell from Air Coryell time, Dwight Freeney, great Colt, Devin Hester, the great return man, Torrey Holt.
How is Devin Hester on this list? Not that he doesn't deserve it, but how is it that he's eligible? I'm freaked out right now.
Yeah, Torrey Holt, Chuck Halley, and Andre Johnson, big Bills, Joe Klecko. Boy, that guy was a big lineman. Albert Lewis, Darrell Revis out on Revis Island, Ken Riley, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas. There's another great defender right there. DeMarcus Ware, big player there. Reggie Wayne and Patrick Willis, great players. Darren Woodson, that's a heck of a class. Kelly, I'll start with you. Just some of your thoughts. That's a great group there.
That's a pretty good group. I do agree. There's some big names in there, some big guys in there. I see some of these names and I'm like, yeah, I see why they're there. I think they did a pretty good job this year picking.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how it lays out. Sanudo?
Some of the names to pick out. Joe Thomas on that left tackle for the Browns, just for years and years on terrible teams, but still was one of the best players in the league. Yeah. And you talk about Devin Hester. I know Dave said, how's he even on the list? I think he was talking about age, but remember when we thought he was a bust and all of a sudden he became the best return man in the NFL. And then, of course, he said earlier, Revis Island. I know he fell off a cliff towards the end of his career, but man, for 3 or 4 or 5 years, he didn't even throw the ball that side of the field. He's got to get in.
Yeah, he's pretty impressive. Gene says he's surprised that Coryell isn't in. I agree that. Dave, your thoughts on this list?
And I mean, Justin kind of made my point. I just can't believe that some of these names are on the list age-wise. I guess it means I'm getting old because I think that I honestly think it's been like 3 years since Reggie Wayne left the league, and that's obviously not correct. But I mean, obviously Wayne and Freeney, big parts of that Indy Indy push
Fun, yeah.
for some Super Bowls. Torrey Holt not being in, I like the nod there a lot. Andre Johnson obviously deserves it. Jared Allen, for real, dude. Always loved him. Like this is a good list. Zach Thomas too. Real like this is
It's solid up and down.
This is a solid list, and it's crazy that we're here. But Revis for sure. I mean, Justin, that was a good point. You didn't throw on Revis. You didn't throw at him for years.
Yep.
Well,
Players have to be out of the league for 5 years to be eligible for the Hall of Fame, and then it is a voting process, kind of like our community Hall of Fame is, where the sports writers all get together along with the past inductees, all help to vote in the next class to be eligible. So, good list. We'll be talking about that more as we get closer to that. Yes, Kel.
What do you notice that's not on this list?
What do I notice it's not on this list?
quarterbacks.
I don't see a quarterback.
There's no
yeah.
quarterbacks.
Oh, good call out, Kelly.
Yep.
Great call out.
Yep. Not a quarterback on this list.
Yep, not a quarterback on there. Interesting. Wow. A lot of wideouts, a lot of defenders, linemen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And only one coach, right? With Coryell. Is that the only coach that I see on that? It was just primarily, yeah. So Coryell will probably go in this time, I'd imagine. I think he was on the list before, but hasn't gone in. So I think this will be the time he will. All right, let's dig into what we're doing. We're talking about the picks and what we're doing. We're going to go around real quick and just ask everybody to give a quick overview of what they think the finals are. This is how it lays out. Buffalo plays Miami. Ravens play Bengals. Those two winners play each other to go over. Kansas City's sitting on a bye, waiting on the winner of the Jags and the Chargers. The winner of that round will play the winner of the top for the AFC champion to go to the Super Bowl. Over on the right-hand side, your NFC, Seattle and San Fran play each other. The Giants and the Vikes play each other. Those two winners will play and go over to the finals against the Eagles. Are sitting there waiting. Eagles are waiting on the winners of the Cowboys and Tampa Bay, and then those two winners will play out and all the way over. So, Tina, why don't we start with you? What do you think your AFC champion is going to be and your NFC champion is going to be for your Super Bowl? What are you thinking?
So, which side's the AFC and which side's the NFC?
The AFC would be where there's an A on the left, and the
It's
NFC,
the one with the A.
there's an A. You see the A right there next to the Ravens and the Bengals. That's
okay.
your AFC.
Oh, that A. Okay.
Yes, that would be.
So,
The big red
Okay.
one.
so complete fear gets inflicted in my body against anybody that is going to go against Kansas City. I can't believe I'm saying that, Kelly. I really
You
just
could be based it on
you right
timeout
now.
on the channel. You pick who you think's going to win. If he times you out, I'll yell at him.
You know, I think I would really. I don't know. This is like I'm looking at this and I'm trying to map this out in my head and see how it's gonna go. I guess in the end, I think I'd like to see a Chargers versus Cowboys game.
Okay.
Did I do that right?
Yeah, that's fine. Chargers versus Cowboys. For me, I throw mine out there as the teams going forward because I was yapping first. I think you're going to see the Bills and Kansas City playing against each other, unfortunately, again. And I truly believe that this time I am going to say Buffalo because I think that team, not that Kansas City isn't talented enough to win it because they are. I think that this whole thing that happened may pull that team together to a new level that they've never seen. And I think they're going to play with a much more heavy of a heart now that they're going to be playing for this kid who can't play. I think that plays into it. Over here on this side, I think, honestly, it's the 49ers coming out, in my opinion, against the Eagles. And I think I'm going to take the 49ers with a more collapsible defense to beat them, and the 49ers lose to the Bills. Now, I will say this. If Kansas City beats Buffalo, I still say the AFC is your champion of Super Bowl. David, your thoughts?
All right. So I think with all the hubbub surrounding Buffalo, and I think the fact that, everyone is predicting a Kansas City Buffalo neutral site game, right? People are sleeping on the Bengals, and I honestly think they can make a run again. this year.
Yep.
Pretty handily and pretty easily. And it could be real interesting when it's Buffalo, and that'll be the second round, right? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, that was kind of a weird picture, but yeah. So I think the Bungles come out of the AFC, and if you want my real pick, it's unfortunately the Eagles. I think that home field advantage for them in Philly is going to be too big. San Francisco traveling the whole way east for the NFC Championship game is going to be too much. I'd like it to be San Francisco. If you want my actual dark horse, the Bucks make it to the Super Bowl.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Well, here's why. Because I think that the NFL is like the WWE, and they want to have Joe Burrow versus Tom Brady, or Jared Allen versus Tom Brady. So
okay,
it's good. It's good television.
That's good television. Okay, we got the picks coming up on all the games in just a minute. Justin, I'll throw it over to you. Your thoughts for finals here.
I like to say that the riches that are the AFC. Look at the teams that are in the AFC compared to the teams that are in the playoffs for the NFC. It's almost like night and day on some of these.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, I'd love to see a great offense versus a great defense. I'm hoping to see Buffalo and the 49ers in the Super Bowl. I think that would be fun.
Buffalo and the 49ers. Okay, Kelly.
Wow. So of course I want to see Kansas City, and I think they will go against the 49ers, but there's that unspoken thing going on there with the Bengals. So if my primary pick, I'm going to give you a dark side pick and a primary pick. My primary pick is going to be Kansas City and the 49ers. My dark side pick is going to be the Bengals and the Eagles. Is my dark side pick.
Yeah. I don't think I'd watch the Super Bowl.
I think
I
think the Bengals are really the problem Kansas City has to worry about, in my opinion.
Is it scary, and I'll just a real quick, because I want to get started on our picks here because I don't want to get behind. But I just like to go around real quick, and I'll start with Kelly, and I'll go in reverse here. Is it scary to think about the fact that I think legitimately the top 4 quarterbacks in the league, and you can mix and match however you want, are the Bills, Bengals, Kansas City, and the Chargers? When you look at this strength of quarterback, if we were ranking strength of quarterback out of these 10 teams, I think those are your top 4, depending on how you see them. Kelly, you agree?
I have trouble with the Chargers, but yeah, I could agree.
Do you think he's better than? I still think he's better than Jacksonville right now. I don't think that kid's further away. I think that the kid for the Chargers is better. I still think he's better than Hurts. I think Hurts would be number 5 for me if I was putting this list.
I think he's better than Hurts. Yeah. I think he's better than Hurts.
And I don't think Brady's what he used to be. The Niners don't have what they do. The definitely not Seattle. Minnesota hasn't proved anything. And Prescott, I mean, he goes, he'll show up one day and not the next. Sanudo, your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think maybe you got Hurts at number 5, and then Jacksonville, he may be number 6 in there. Yeah. So, some of the best quarterback plays in that AFC. And like I just said, the best teams right now are in the AFC, and that just happened to coincide with the best quarterback. So what does that tell you?
That's true. David?
Sanudo kind of stole my thunder, because I was going to say, I honestly think you have the top 5 quarterbacks in the AFC with Trevor Lawrence. Maybe not this year, but soon.
He's moving.
Yeah, for sure. He's moving in that direction. He's playing really well. And to your point on Brady, this is really bad as the Steelers fan. I hate saying this stuff, but Brady may have had a really off year. Brady in the playoffs isn't Brady all year. He's been there. He knows how to handle it. He has the weapons on offense. It's whether or not he can put up 40 on everyone. That's just what it comes down to.
That's a great.
I don't think they have the defense to do it, but they have the offensive capability to make people really, really pucker.
Excellent point. Tina, I know you've done a lot of studying with this year with quarterbacks and quarterback play.
What was the question? I'm sorry, I was reading.
What do you think about the strength of the quarterbacks in the AFC division, the division that the Patriots and all are in with the Ravens and the Bengals and Kansas City.
So I think it's funny. So something that I just learned this year, or maybe just realized, there's not just one quarterback for each team. I've been under a rock apparently. And so I don't know. I'm not the biggest quarterback, or the biggest, I should say, quarterbacks. Mahomes, obviously for KC, I know him, and Brady for the Bucks. You would think that I'd know a little bit more, considering I pick other quarterbacks for my fantasy football teams, but no, because it just goes over my head. But so those, as far as that goes, off the top of my head, those are the biggest ones.
Okay.
And I knew Rodgers, but Green Bay's not in this, so
No,
he doesn't matter anymore.
He will be with Gandhi. All right, let's jump into week one. Week one of the playoffs. This will be your first game of the playoffs. Cowboys and Bucks. Saturday at 4:30. We're going to start over with Sanudo. Seattle is traveling down to San Fran. San Fran is minus 9.5 and 42.5. Percentages above everybody's head are how they did this year on their picks, just so you know. Sanudo, pick away.
Listen, I'm going to tell you exactly how this game is going to happen. If I had my Swami stuff, I'd put it on right now. Seattle's going to come out like a ball of fire, and they're going to be scoring. They're going to be scoring first. Halftime, listen here, halftime it's 17-7 Seahawks. But the 49ers end up making some changes. They turn around in the second half. They win the game, but Seattle covers. So you know what? If we're betting games, I'm taking Seattle right here.
Taking Seattle plus the 9.5. Kelly.
Straight up 49ers.
Okay. But you're going to think they're going to cover the 9.5 easily?
I think they will.
Okay. All right. I like it. Tina?
Okay, so no matter how many times Justin tries to explain to me what the covers mean, it doesn't register in my head. So leaving those out completely, I have the Seahawks pinned to win this game, because I think the fire's there. I think they're going to come out, and I think they're going to blow the 49ers away, because I think they're going to be hungry for it.
Okay. All right. Dave?
So I agree. It's playoff football. 9.5's big. I'm taking Seattle with the spread. And San Francisco is going to win the game.
Interesting. So I'm looking at laying this one out. First, I'm looking at Seattle traveling on the road. So you take away the full 12th man effect of them playing at home. Niners have been incredible this year as they've come out since building this team. Their challenge, pointing out what Justin said at the beginning, at times this year, they have come out with a lack of focus that has put them in the chasing realm where they've had to do a lot of catch-up football, which meant they haven't covered a lot of games. So you got that factor there. They've got the challenge of the kid in their quarterback, Mr. Erroneous, Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Non-conspicuous, who has stepped in and done a good job for them. With that all being said, I still look at the fact of talent against talent. And when you look at the entire defense and the entire offense, to me, it's not even a matchup between the two. I give a huge edge to San Francisco. I do see it being this a 10-point game. Frisco winning on the road. Total staying under the total. I like San Francisco in a 27-10 game, somewhere in there, that avenue. I think they get up in the latter part of the second half, and it becomes all Christian McCaffrey, run. And in case you missed it, tell the beer vendor we're probably going to run and not worry about it. And a lot of the time will go off the clock. So that's my layout there on that game. All right, let's go to game number 2. Game number 2 will be played at 8 p.m. on Saturday night. This one is hot. I'm excited about it. Jaguars and Chargers. Kelly's going to start off this one. Interesting line. Jaguars at home on a dog against a team traveling across the country. Total 47.5. Kelly, start us off on this one.
So for me, I'm picking Jacksonville on this one. I think the Chargers are going to make a mistake in the second half of the game, and it's going to be by 3 points, and Jacksonville will end up winning the game. But I just I mean, but they have some. Was it Chargers have some injuries going on right now that they're dealing with.
They're getting
so I
yeah, they're getting
so
help.
I think it's going to be the Jacksonville.
Kelly likes the Jags at home as a dog. Tina, which way are you going here?
Oh boy. So there's a lot that I could say. There's nothing that I could say. So I'm gonna pick a team. I've been having a lot of hope and faith for the Chargers. I don't know if it's just because I sympathize with Justin because it's his home team and I know what it's like to have a Patriots knocked out. But I wanna go Chargers on this one. I think they're gonna pull it out in the end.
Chargers in a row for Tina. David?
I think I'd go Jags. Look, everyone likes this quarterback out in LA, and I like this quarterback down in Jacksonville. I liked him when he was at Clemson. Big fan. I'd take Jags without the points. I'd take it money line, and I'd probably take the under. At home, first time in a hot minute. West Coast team traveling east. Granted, it is a late game, but still, I think the Jags are going to shock them and win it outright, and see what happens next round.
Okay, Sanudo?
When the lights were the brightest, even though I love him as a quarterback, he's got his flaws, and Trevor Lawrence throws a pick six and almost takes him out of the playoffs. Luckily, he got bailed out by his own defense. I don't think that the Chargers would let that happen. I think Lawrence has a tough time under the spotlight. I think the Chargers defense puts pressures on him, and I think the Chargers end up winning outright, more than 2 points. So.
Okay, 2-2. So where I lay on this one, I actually, what Dave and Justin and Kelly and all said, there is a lot of what plays into my thoughts for this game. First off, I always look at things from a gambling aspect, and I say it seems real easy for everybody to tease this game, take the Jacksonville Jaguars +8 over a touchdown, and tease this thing down to 41.5. That seems like too easy of a play, first off. So that scares me. Second thing is, I agree with Sanudo. I think this is, you've seen a lot of promise from the kid in Jacksonville, but he's not there yet. I give the experience edge over to Herbert up there
Lawrence as a freshman won the freaking national championship. You're telling me he doesn't like the spotlight?
I'm talking about the NFL. He hasn't done in the NFL yet. You could say that about Watson. What's he done in Cleveland? He's did great. He's a national champion out there. He's done a lot of stuff.
Well, there's
it's
a little
just
bit of a
until he's there. He struggled on the way in. I think that Sanudo's right. I think it's going to be a last-second miss effort by him. I don't know if it'll be an interception. It may be a drive that they don't make. I think this is going to be an incredibly close game. I agree with the inflection of points. I think it should have been a pick -1. The 2 throws me. So I am going to take the Chargers to cover by a field goal, cover by 1 point in my mind. And I agree with Dave 100%. The over seems too obvious in this. It seems like this game should be a game that they should probably have this over at halftime. So I'm going to lay the under on that and on that one and stay down there. We'll see. And this is what I like. I think this could be, and I think you guys would probably agree, probably the closest game of all of them. Would you think from looking at them at the end? We'll answer that question at the end on which one you think is going to be the closest game out of all 6 in your minds. Tina's going to start this one up. Bills and the Dolphins, 2 teams that she knows well from her own division with the Patriots. They are going at 1 o'clock on Sunday. 1 o'clock on Sunday. Miami goes and travels down to Buffalo, or up to Buffalo. Miami will not be playing Tua. So it's already been identified. Buffalo is a 13-point favorite. Total is 43.5, and I am hearing snow, coming down. 4 inches of snow predicted for this game. Tina, what are you thinking?
Listen, Buffalo is used to snow. We get that lake effect. It doesn't even faze them. They're going to take this game, hands down.
Okay. David?
I just said 9.5 was a lot. 13's insane. Buffalo covers. Just say it. and I'd take the over. How is the over only 43.5?
Yeah, I wonder about that. I think it's just because they're thinking that the quarterback situation for Miami is not going to allow Miami to put up a ton of points, but they might be able to see a run game, maybe because of the snow more than throwing. So maybe they're laying that into the total because that has fluctuated throughout the night. Welcome into Colin K, Mark Langenkamp, Joy S, Monorail Molly, Kenneth H, all in the chat with us here. So 2 on the Bills already. Mr. Sanudo, what do you think?
Tua's out. Of course, Buffalo's going to win. The question is, do they win by 13?
Yeah.
An NFL team in the playoffs does not want to get embarrassed. And I think Miami has too much pride to lose by that much. Just with that, I wouldn't bet this game, to be honest with you. If there was a game I was going to bet, it wouldn't be this one because the point spread is just too much. But I would take Miami with the points. So that would be my bet.
Miami and the points. Kelly?
Straight up, Buffalo wins, but not by 13. I think they're going to – you got a couple of things with Miami that will they'll try to keep it to a closer game. I could see within 7, but not 13.
Okay. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think just because of the quarterback situation, I'm just going to run with Allen and I know that the Bills are going to win in my mind. If we come back here next week and we're talking about the Bills that got knocked out, Kelly will be dancing on the screen. I can tell you that right now. He'll be dancing because that's one of the nemesis is gone out of there and be laughing.
I want the Bills and the Bengals to go at it and let that pick go from there is what I want.
Oh, okay. So you want them to beat up
Bengals out of the way.
Yeah, well, if Miami beats them, Bengals are going straight through. The Bengals will roll right through them. I don't see it happening. I think Buffalo wins by at least 10. I'm going to roll the dice that they score the extra point. The over-under scares me a lot. I agree with Dave calling that out. That's a great call out, Dave. I don't know why that's so low. I was thinking somewhere in the 49 range. So when I saw the 6-point variation, it kind of surprised me, 48, 49. Is Skylar Thompson, I don't know if he's not that, I don't think he's that bad. I have not seen a deep ball threat out of him at all. And I haven't seen the accuracy that Tua had in the short game, which is why it's hurt them because he has not been able to connect and hit these kids with all this speed on a run. He's been throwing behind them. Can't throw behind Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill standing still is no good. So put him on the run.
Pete, come on, man. Tyreek still is bad.
No, I'm
right in front of you. It was right in front of you. No, Tyreek still.
Tyreek still.
Come on.
Who,
it was
Kelly?
Right in front of you. I don't know.
Game 4. Let's go over to it. Interesting game. Giants and the Vikes. This will be the 4:30 game. 4:30 game for us here. This is going to be our game 4, so David will start it up. G-Man going on the road. Minnesota, it's just basically saying Minnesota's at home. We'll give them that 3 points we always give the home team. They are -3, total 48.5. Again, higher scoring, higher planned game than the game before. I don't get it. David, what are you thinking?
Dude, this one's so hard. It's so hard because the Vikes are good. But are they really good? Have they not been put in situations where they should have won and didn't? It's so tough for me. The Giants apparently think that they have a shot because they sit everyone last week. And this is only because I'm taking the 3 points. But say who Saquon. Giants go in and cover and may actually win this game.
Definitely 2 incredible running backs in this game between Saquon and Cook on the other side. Two different running styles, but man, two of the top in the league. Justin, your thoughts?
You talk about the closest game of the week. I think that's going to be this game right here. I like the Giants, to be honest with you. I like the team, but I feel like the Vikings are angry that nobody's talking about them. They look at the point differential and say there's no way you should be a 13-win team, but they are. And they got maybe the best wide receiver in football, and they got a top 5 running back in football. And I think they stomped the Giants here. I was coming in thinking the Giants are going to win this, but the more I think about it, I think the Vikings are angry, and I think they take it out of the Giants.
Vikings pick for Sanudo. Kelly.
This is the game. This is the game that could have the biggest upset
Okay.
of these, in my opinion, for a road upset. But I think the only way the Giants can win this game is if they can force some turnovers. That's the only way I think the Giants can do it. And I'm not saying that the Vikings are that good. That's not what I'm saying. So don't misconstrue that. But I am picking the Vikings to win the game.
Cousins does have more of a tendency than your Giants quarterback to throw an interception. That's a good point there. So that could lay out. Tina, what's your thoughts on this game?
I've been waiting all day to say this. Vikings are going to hit those G spots and bring it home.
Oh, my God. Good gravy. Tina on the Vikings. Dave, can you follow that?
I already picked.
Oh, I see. It threw me off. So who did I miss? Tina just totally threw me off.
It should be three. It should be three Vikings, me on the G spot, and wherever you're at.
Yeah, sorry. I just totally threw me off completely there as I'm trying to run the game. All right, so let's look at this one here is what I'm thinking. Interesting game. Giants came out, surprised everybody this year as one of the top teams in the NFC, playing close to that division toward the end until they had a slight fall off. Saquon has come back as the Saquon we saw at where, Dave? We are?
Penn State.
Yes, sir. We saw him there running. He's come back strong that way. Jefferson has had a monster of the year. If he's not in consideration for offensive player of the year, I don't know what is. And that's with a quarterback that's been up and down and struggling. All that being said, total on this game, honestly, I still say under. I think they're playing you. I still take the under in this one as it goes out. I am shocked a little bit at the line with the Giants going there only at a 3. But this one was interesting to me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Bang!
It's me. It's DDP.
Dirty Down Picks with Pete. I'm 78% on my lock of the week this year, and I'm going to go lock of the week, the Vikings at home. A lot because of what Dave said. Hey, Murph, welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. Justin brought up a good point that the Minnesota Vikings are embarrassed, and they should be. They've looked awful limping into the playoffs. I picked them to win the Super Bowl this year. Hashtag not going to happen. Pete was wrong on that pick earlier this year. But I will pick them to win week 1 here, lock of the week for this one. Before I go into the last 2 picks of the week, just to highlight a couple things. One, we do have a Discord on this channel. If you'd like to go over there and talk football, baseball, sports, and more, if you want to interact with any of the people on the dais, our Discord is rocking. Over 200-plus people over there talking sports, Star Wars, Marvel, Disney, and more. Check out the Discord. Great place to hang out. I want to remind everybody that I do have a Super Bowl pool going. I am running Super Bowl pools. I've already filled one up completely. I'm already halfway through the second already. It's $25 a block, $500 a quarter payout. It is a fundraiser for Preston for his travel baseball. We did it last year, had great success. We're going to try to get it going. I'd like to get it up to even 3. This year. So if you're interested, my email is right there. Somebody else can drop it in the chat. PeteMcDivittShow@gmail.com. Send me an email. Tell me you want information on the pool. I will send you the links and get it out to you. We are going to do all the games this week. So Saturday at 4:30, I'll be live doing all of these. Jaguars at 8 on Sunday, a triple header on the channel. Bills, Vikings coming up 1-2. Ravens late at Sunday night, and Monday night finishing up with Cowboys and Bucks. And one last reminder, I have already set the games. We are going to cover the XFL Live. We're going to cover the XFL Live. Our first weekend will be week 2 because I am out of town week 1. But we're going to have all of these teams going here, as you'll see, covering them all through week 2 of the XFL. I have no idea what the XFL is going to do, say, shake, or do, but we're going to try to check it out. Game 5 on the docket is Ravens. My Ravens travel to the Bengals. I'm excited about this one. Not as exciting I would be if we actually had our full team going up there with a chance to do a lot more, but we'll see. It's going to be Justin's to lead this one off. But first, let me also say hello to the Curtis family, and thank you to Kenneth H. For sending me a $10 PayPal. I haven't had a chance to pull up what Kenneth said. Let me do that real quick. Also, hello to D-Man coming in late. 75 people in here right now hanging with the dais here. We appreciate you guys coming in and supporting the channel. We will be doing this show all winter long. So as soon as the season's over, Thursday night, Inside the Huddle, talking all the changes and everything will be happening. Kenneth H. says Thursday, pick 'em Pete tip jar. Great Thursday show as always. Thank you, Kenneth H., for your magic that you create. We appreciate you. Total on this one is 41. 41. They had struggled to get that when they played a week ago. Of course, there was a ton of people sitting in that game. Minus 7.5 for the Bengals. Sanudo, start us up.
Yeah, the Ravens are they're a difficult team to judge because I don't know who's playing quarterback for them. Pete, you may be playing quarterback.
What I will tell you is, as of today,
how can they own?
Let me give you this update so you know as you're making your pick. As of 4 o'clock this afternoon, Lamar still had not practiced. The second string quarterback was still working with the team, Huntley. But they have still not ruled him out. They are saying that his ankle, according to the press that they are releasing, whether it's true or not, they're saying that his ankle is still slightly swollen and that they're hoping he will play on Sunday. That's where it's at. Go ahead.
Yeah, he just needs that extra $200 million to get in there, right?
Yes, it would be better with $200 million. The swelling will go down. Yeah. All that money
he can just go down magically.
Yeah, well, they'll put the money on the swelling and it'll go right down. It'll be crazy. Justin, go ahead.
I think everybody probably is in agreement, except for maybe Pete. The Bengals are going to win this game. The question is how much. I think 7.5 is way too low, so I'm going to take the Bengals. But I will take the over. I know that it feels like a trap, and the Ravens haven't scored, I don't know, since 1973 or something like that. But I think the Bengals may be able to get 41 on their own. So
Bengals may be able to get 41 on their own. They didn't last week. Kelly, do you think they can do it this week?
Actually, I take the Bengals, and I'm looking at I got them at -10. I think it's gonna be 10 points and they'll cover.
Okay, Tina.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know. I think the Ravens are going to upset. I think, they've had a lot of struggles, and even with Lamar being out, I think the Bengals are gonna mess up. They're gonna fumble, and I think the Ravens are gonna take it.
Okay, got the Ravens here. Dave.
Bengals over.
Right there.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I have nothing else to add.
Okay. Here's what I'll throw out there then. First off, I think the number at 41 is a little odd. I agree that it's weird, but I'm not sure where I want to go. I think it's a coin flip right now on this. There's too many unknowns on this. I'm going to take the Ravens just because I'm playing my team, but I'm going to be honest about it. Here's the deal. If we go up there without Lamar at quarterback, we will not win this game. The Bengals will win this game pretty easily. Covering the 7.5, if you're out there gambling, keep this in mind. If the Ravens go up there without Lamar, there's a good chance the Bengals could be up by 2 to 3 touchdowns at halftime, which means they sit a lot of people in the second half for a safety factor playing in the next week, knowing they have another big game to follow, not wanting to get people hurt, and the Ravens could get a backdoor 7.5 cover, which is potential. Ravens do not win without Lamar. If Lamar's there, is it a different game? Yes, it's a different game. Do they have the potential to win? Possibly. But here's why I am not 100% behind the Ravens, which I'm a fan of, winning even with Lamar showing. He hasn't played in 5 weeks. He's going to be rusty. He hasn't practiced in 5 weeks. He's still playing with the sore ankle. So if he comes in, he's not going to be Lamar Jackson beginning of the year, running all over the place, doing what he did to the Bengals in the first game. You go back to that. If everybody remembers that first week, he was running everywhere and making plays. So as much as I love my boys in purple and black, and I do hope that they prove me totally wrong, I think Bengals fans, you're going to be very happy because I think you're going to win this week. So much respect out. And, I want to say this too, guys, and I know you guys feel the same way. Kelly was on live with me when the Bengals were playing the Bills, and this happened. The whole shit thing went down. So I got 3 things that I want to say on this real quick. First, this is important to me, and I know I didn't tell the guys on the dais I was going to do it, but I apologize. I should have beforehand. I want to bring in something real quick. I'd like to ask one of my moderators to drop the link for Chris Dadbuild's where they can make a donation. Chris Dadbuild's in our community is a great guy, and he has gone out and he has put together a fundraiser. He has been affected by heart conditions in his family, and as a tie-in to all of this that went down, he is doing a benefit stream to for the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, which is amazing. He's already raised over $1,000. So if you got an extra dollar in your pocket, every dollar makes a difference. Somebody's going to drop the link in there right now. I don't know why there's your challenges, why it's not live, but it's YouTube. It's doing its thing. So if you have a dollar and you can donate, please do. Right there, Kenneth H. just dropped it. Okay. This kid, he is out of the hospital. He is starting his recovery. So hashtag Dad Builds, thank you for doing something like this. All the money goes directly to the charity. There's no third party. It goes directly to the American Heart Association. You will get a receipt for it, and you will also, it is 100% tax deductible. David, I give a lot of props to you and your boys on Wednesday night for starting out Dad Builds and getting him going. When he announced that charity, you guys raised $500 the first night over there with Chris. So props to you, buddy. I want to say that. Could somebody drop the
props to the community?
Absolutely. Could somebody drop Dad Build's link in there for his YouTube channel? If you're watching us now, I don't ask this often for other people, but this guy is trying to get himself to 1,000 subscribers, and he has given all money up and trying to raise money for charity. If nothing else, that guy deserves people following his channel. He does live Lego builds. He does comedy stuff. It's great stuff. Click on JD Prigg just dropped it. Click on Dad Build's link. Check out his content. Give him a follow. Last, I want to say, when Kelly and I were live on the game that night, it was traumatic. And I thank Kelly for coming in and saving my backside because I was spinning trying to figure out what to talk about and how to talk about. But Kelly, you and I were both amazed, and I'll let you comment about it. We saw when the Buffalo Bills were playing that first quarter, the fans were rude, obnoxious. They were throwing stuff down there, just like a home team should do in one of the biggest games. They were behind their team. Every home team is all like that. The fans should be. When those Buffalo Bills walked off the field after that incident, I saw every Cincinnati fan standing on their feet, applauding them as they walked through the tunnel. I want you, if you could comment on that. I got goosebumps just talking about it.
We all are very passionate about our teams, right? And we get that emotional thing. But when you have that moment where there's one thing that's an equalizer for all people, and that's death.
Yeah.
It is. And that reality came over that stadium, and it shows the class that they had to say, okay, it's not football now. It's about the human being. It's about the people. And they know and they saw firsthand how it affected those team members, and they respectfully responded to that. So hats off, kudos to them. I thought it was very, very professional, very courteous, very human being-like.
Absolutely. Dave or Studo or Tina, any of you guys want to comment on that before we roll out? I know I threw this one on you, but I did want to bring it up because I thought the Cincinnati fans deserve that respect. Justin, anything?
Obviously it was a scary situation for everybody. Nobody knew what was going to happen. When you first you thought maybe it was a little injury, and then all of a sudden, it was just amazing. First of all, you talk about the fans, but just the medical personnel that were in the building at that time saved his life. And to see that man out of the hospital within 7 days of it happening is just a miracle. It is.
Absolutely. God bless the first responders. David, anything?
I mean, I'm glad that, I'm glad he is doing well. It could have been very, very bad for his family, and the like. As a fellow Western Pennsylvanian, I know he was at Pitt, all of that. I'm not a big Pitt fan, but look, thank God he is better, and it wasn't a
catastrophe,
a worse outcome than it is. I mean, It's a long road home from here, but at least he's out. So,
Tina?
Yeah, I mean, to see everybody, almost literally everybody, on their knees surrounding this guy and praying, And I think it was the assistant coach that performed the CPR on him for 9 minutes before, right? I think it
was a trainer.
Trainer. For this man to come in, if this guy hadn't have done that, who's to say what would have happened? And to see NFL anchors on stream, and even you, Pete, stopping and saying a prayer like that, that chokes me up. Just to see everyone coming together, it's something that I don't think I've ever experienced in media before. If you want to,
Right.
shown, it blows me out of the water.
Let's hope that we don't have to see that again for sure. All right, let's jump over to the last game of the night. Seattle at home. Nope. Seattle on the road at the number 2 49ers. This is going to be a good one. This is your Monday night game. Or did I have that? No, I had that back. Why did I have that back? Yeah. It should have been Tampa Bay.
I don't know.
I was sitting there going, I thought we already did that game. So I just had my things backwards. My fault there. The Monday night game is Tampa Bay and Dallas. Monday night game, Tampa Bay and Dallas here. Tampa Bay at home minus or plus 2.5, which threw me off. Plus 2.5, an underdog at home, like some couple other teams in this playoffs. 45.5 is your total. To the Tom in there against Dak. I don't know which one's going to show up. And this is game number 6 on our portfolio. So Kelly will start us off. What are you thinking?
Man, okay, so this is the hard game in my opinion, honestly. This one's tough. There's a lot of factors going on in here. Buccaneers have all kinds of injuries going on right now. They've got a whole lot of questionable players, whether they're going to even play right now. Obviously, you've got, and then you turn around, you've got the Buccaneers quarterback who knows that Brady knows how to perform under this kind of pressure, right? The question isn't Brady as much to me are his receivers going to follow through? Are they going to be able to catch that stinking ball? I think that Dallas is actually going to run it quite a bit on the Bucs, and I don't think the Bucs are going to be able to stop the run as much. So I'm picking the Cowboys for this one.
Wow, that's
I think the Cowboys are going to take this. Yeah, I know, right? It never happens.
No,
I'm glad Dole Whip Dad wasn't here, but yeah, it is. It's kind of where I'm thinking. I think they're going to do a little bit of running, and I'm not sure how much of Tampa Bay is going to be there. So we'll see.
Okay, Kelly's on the Cowboys. Tina.
I know, as much as you guys think that I like Brady's tight ends, being a former Patriot, I'm all for Brady, but when it comes to the Cowboys, he takes the back seat, so I'm going with the Cowboys.
Okay. Dave?
As a Steelers fan, I think I'm contractually obligated to not pick the Cowboys. Just in general. But whoever thought was it 13 win team, right?
Yeah.
13 win team is not at home for the playoffs. With that said, I think Brady knows what's up. I'm going to go Bucs here just because it's the upset of the week. Brady does what Brady does in the playoffs, and Dallas does what Dallas does in the playoffs, which is lose.
Okay. Tenuto?
Kelly said this is the hardest one for him to pick. I think this is the easiest one. I know Tom Brady's supposedly Superman, and you don't tug on his cape, but I think we found the kryptonite, and that's age 45. The Bucs just are not a good team in all reality. I'll take the Cowboys, and they win big.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this one. The total on a primetime game on Monday night, if you've watched totals on Monday nights, they have not hit at all this year. A lot of games have gone under. I'm going to stay to that line and say that this game stays on the same trajectory as all the Monday night games. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback ever. He's got the most rings, more rings than any other division out there. I agree with Dave. If anybody could ever do it, it is Brady. However, I look at overall talent. I know that Cowboys have struggled this year. I know they played like garbage a couple times. Dak still has not proven it. I think this is finally the game where the Cowboys do it. I just don't think. I saw Tampa Bay go to England and get just throttled by a team that didn't even deserve to be in there with them. So I think the age factor has caught up with Tom. A lot of people are saying Brady will be back next year. Oh, he's going to the Raiders. The only one place Brady, I think, was going personally, and I could be wrong, but I think I'm right here. I think Brady's going back to New England to play for one day and retire as a New England Patriot and go into the Hall of Fame as a Patriot and take that 300 plus million and be with his kids and do some broadcasting, because I think he's finally realized if you look at Tom's face after all these interviews that they do after the games, for the first time in all the years of his career, including his days in Michigan when he was there, I don't see a guy that looks aggressive and into it. I see a guy that looks distant and lost, and that's a different Brady. So I'm going to go Cowboys as well here and take them to not only cover the 2.5, but I think it's at least a touchdown game out there for them. Let's go around real quick here as we're doing it for some final comments for your upset of the time, for your game of the week to watch, anything you want to throw in. We'll go ladies first. Tina, also tell us a little bit about your channel as well.
Listen, I'm just very blessed to be here. Thank you, Pete, for having me and taking faith in me. And, I have to give a lot of props to Justin, because I ask him these ridiculous questions and he just answers me, and he's just so obliging. So thank you very much for all your help, and for Pete, for you as well. And I'm amazed that I actually understand that this is the wild card, then we're going into the playoffs, and then it's the Super Bowl or something like it, because it makes much more sense in my brain now compared to last year when I had no idea what was going on. And I'm very proud of myself, and I keep pushing myself forward, and I'm really excited to actually pay attention to games and watch games. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, my name is Tina. I have a channel, T Marie's Place, and I go live Wednesdays at 5:00. We got some things coming up, but more importantly, in a couple of weeks, we're gonna have a fun stream Thursday night, 10:00. In 2 weeks, 10:30. Sorry, it's gonna be ladies ask guys questions. So I'm really excited about this.
Yes, I'm extremely nervous about that as well. Justin, your thoughts on this weekend?
I just want to say, how awesome is it that we're going to have playoff football on Monday night? I think that's pretty cool.
Yes.
It's going to be a fun weekend. They call this the best weekend in football, in NFL football. Hopefully this weekend will be that. I do feel like there's going to be a couple blowouts, so maybe it's next weekend. But you can catch myself with my wife, my lovely wife, Joy, on Escapades with PJJ Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., where she tells me what to do, and I just do it.
Love it. David?
Hello. It should be interesting. It's really funny because you look at half of these teams that are in right now, and if we go back to the middle of the season, we would have all said that the Seahawks shouldn't be anywhere near the playoffs. We would have all said that Jacksonville shouldn't be anywhere near the playoffs. And we also would have said that the Steelers shouldn't have been as close as they were to getting into the playoffs. It all starts over. It all starts over now. It really does. How many times in whatever sport have you seen someone come in that wasn't supposed to do anything, get to the championship game, and if not, win it? 2,000 Ravens. Any rate.
You're right.
I know. There's no reason that Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl ring. And you can thank Ray Lewis for that, Trent Dilfer.
Right.
But it's anything can happen. It's the NCAA basketball tournament of football this weekend, I guess, is the easiest way to put it.
Yeah.
I know Brady's getting a lot of flack, and I'm just kind of going on the fact that I don't want Dallas to win. So cool. I'll take that as an upset. I do honestly think that Jacksonville's going to win at home. Upset of the week for sure. And yeah. And again, dark horse. I don't know how the Bengals are the dark horse, but it pains me to say dark horse is another AFC North team. But
love it.
Yeah, cool. Just in that Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're talking about things occasionally. And that's about that.
Yeah,
So.
another good show again this week. Good job, Dave. Kelly?
Foosball been very good to me. So, basically, thanks Pete for it's been a great year. Here we are. We're down to the nitty gritty, right, of the year. This should be some good football. Should being the operative word here. I at least one of these games will probably be a blowout and be just totally unexpected. Somebody will probably blow it, and we'll have one of those crazy games. But it's going to be good. Looking forward to the games this weekend, and we're Myers and the Mouse. We go live from the parks Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Saturdays at 10. Come on in, give us a look, and if you have some fun with us in the parks, and it's a great community, it's a great positive stream that we get a few laughs and have a good time. And Mama Mouse and I go through, and she tries to destroy the credit card. So come check us out. We'll be happy to have you there. And Tina, good job this year.
Love it. Yeah, Tina, great job. First couple things. My moderators have been dropping the links for all these amazing people all throughout the stream, so you can click on it, go right there to their channel, say hello if you'd like to do that right there. If not, you can go to the front of my YouTube channel. If you're watching on the replay, the link for everybody is right there, so you can get right back to them and find their channels as well as on my website, PeteMcDivittShow.com, under the NFL show. If you found us through the football because you're searching football and you go over and check out one of these people on their channels, do me a favor, say hello to them, say, hey, I found you because of the football show. Let them know that that's how you found you. I'm sure that they will welcome you in to all the fun. If you've had fun here tonight, it's your first time in on my channel, this is what we do every Thursday night, just about almost every Thursday night of the year. We may miss one or two, but I'm pretty good. We talk football one way or another in the off season. We will be covering XFL, USFL. I'll be doing the draft live. We will be digging into that in the off season and talking about it with the Deus and all that. It's a lot of fun. And again, I'm broadcasting all 6 games this weekend on the channel. I thank everybody for being in here tonight. I thank my moderators. I thank Paul Engel for tracking all of our picks. He does it every week and sends it to me on email. Hats off to Paul Engel as part of our team for doing that as well. We're truly appreciative to him. I wanted to go up and go out with a fun thing. I did this to Kelly last week, and he thoroughly enjoyed it when I did this. I let Kelly take us out singing. So I was thinking we would do, it's always good to do something singing on the way out. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is something we do on our other channels. We have some fun with all of our friends. I really want to go. Kelly loves to sing. He's got a funk show. It's pretty amazing. But, hey, good night, everybody.